Hi, I'm Rick Bullock, and with me are two of my co-hosts. Third one hasn't quite arrived yet, but I have Nick Murphy on my far right and C.J. Clardy in the middle. And we will be having the pleasure and honor of presenting the pre-Memorial Day parade to you, the viewers. This year's parade is particularly different because it is in fact being designed to honor the veterans who have given so much to us and to our country and to our community and the sacrifices that they made. So what we will be doing is leaving here shortly, going up to the parade route, giving you a little bit of commentary as the parade goes by, and then we'll be coming back here where hopefully we will be joined by the political figures and some town figures that are around here. And I think it'll be a really interesting way of spending a little bit of time with you. So again, I'm Rick Bullock, and we'll be seeing you shortly. It's a beautiful day down here on the parade route, and to really have the parade start off with the police department is extremely appropriate, particularly on this day that we're honoring our veterans and the people that serve us on a daily basis and a yearly basis, and certainly the police department fits into that category. You know, thinking out loud, Bob, it's remarkable. Many years ago, of course, the course was laid out through the center, which was one of my favorites.
And why was it one of your favorites, Mr. Bullock?
Well, basically, I mean, it took us by all the memorials, but you know, coming down here, there's a lot to be said for this route too. You aren't climbing the hills, and it makes it easier, I think, for the participants. But one of the things that I think is always interesting is how slow a parade actually goes.
They do go very slow. You got a lot of people walking. You've got some seniors in there. You've got the little ones in there, and you got to take time to enjoy them.
And of course, with everything else, we absolutely have to have the sirens. So, I mean, that's definitely a plus as far as having the sirens and whatnot. I'm just not sure how you can keep the motorcycle upright when you're only going that slow, but you know, Officer Lavoy can certainly do it. Hey, Rob, how you doing? Tremendous, bud, tremendous. And just what we're seeing here now is certainly Bedford's finest, and that's something to be said. We should be very proud of all of them.
And a moment without sirens so that our ears can come back.
Ah, come on. The sirens are the fun part. That's what the kids look forward to. I think that's what I looked forward to when I was a kid, watching this parade.
Whoa, he's got bubble gum. Did you want some bubble gum when you were a kid?
No, my mother never let me have it when I was a kid. But
It's probably better that you didn't. That's why you got all your teeth.
yeah, that works for every once in a while. But anyway, now we have the honor guard approaching from the VFW, and it's VFW Post 8401, the color guard. And see many familiar faces here, many longtime Bedford residents, and that's great. That's what we see is coming together for a community. And again, this parade is keyed specifically toward recognizing the veterans and saying how much we appreciate their service to our country and to our town and to our community in general. So it's great to see them, and you know, just a wonderful thing in all. And then coming along, we have the Stevens-Buzzell Post 54, and that is coming along in the American Legion truck. Because we're doing this, Earl.
Even the dog waves.
So here we go. Now we have the American Legion, another American Legion truck. Hi, how you doing? It's a beautiful, beautiful day. And now we have the Bedford Fire Department Honor Guard approaching. It's great to see them. As always, they do so much along with the police department for us, and we truly appreciate their time and effort. You know, CJ, one of the things that I remember from being a kid here in town is the approaching fire truck. That's the second fire truck in the history of Bedford. The first was actually a Model T called Chemical 1.
That's amazing.
And when that came into town, there's a picture in the town hall of the commemoration and the celebration of having that fire truck. So I mean, that's a wonderful thing to have. So I mean, it's a
Look at how beautiful it is.
yeah, it's pretty much all original. So I mean, that's great. And now we have Troop 414, and that's a great troop. That's been in Bedford for a long, long time. And now we've got the Bedford High School Band. And without a doubt, with the weather that we're having today, they must find it a little bit hot in those uniforms, but they're carrying it off beautifully, and it looks tremendous.
They sound excellent.
Yeah, don't they? I mean, it's...
I just want to march with them.
Well, I'm sure they wouldn't object. I mean, this is the inclusiveness of the community.
I have to wait for my girl, though. She's a brownie. It's her
Okay.
first parade.
Well, hopefully we're going to be able to talk to Sierra later.
Yeah, I hope so. And they're trailing up with all the Girl Scouts. She's the end crew, but let's see who we have here.
Okay, well, this is Girl Scout Troop 20818, and followed by the Daisy Troop 12104.
They didn't have daisies when I was little. The daisies are kindergartners and first graders.
And that's great. It's wonderful to see them, the young ones, involved in the community. It's a great situation. And then we have Girl Scouts Troop 1030.
I think it's 10130.
Oh, okay. And then another troop, 22629. And then another Daisy Troop, 13973. My God, have we got enough Daisy Troops here today. It's wonderful to see them all.
Oh, and they're even throwing you some candy, Rick.
And that is something to be having, believe me. And then we have Troop 20589. And isn't that wonderful? The squirt gun is being used in full force. Now approaching is Troop 12019, and boy, it's a wonderful thing to see this many of our young people celebrating something that is being dedicated to the veterans. And coming up on us now is, let's see, what is... I think this might be. This is from a float by the Refrigerator Door Art Studio. So that's great. It's the Sunshine Generation. So that's really wonderful, and it's great to see so many of our young girls here. Hi. And now comes the Bedford Republican Committee. And of course, we welcome them. Thanks. And coming up, we have we have Ovid Lamontagne, accompanied by Sean Van Engelen. Good seeing you, Ovid. Good seeing you, Sean. And, we'll be talking to these people once we get back down to McKelvey. And, of course, then we have our state seal, which is something we're all very proud of, and which stands for so much here at the state level. So, it's a wonderful thing to see. Tremendous. How you doing? Good. It is a beautiful day. How you doing? And coming up, we have, if I'm remembering correctly in the order, we have Laurie Sanborn, a representative to the House in Concord, and we have Andy Sanborn, who is one of the state senators.
Candy, it's not just for kids anymore.
Hi, Andy.
All right, so make sure you have it.
Do you need a squirt? Okay.
Hey, Laurie.
How are you?
Good, we'll see you down at school. Take care now. And now approaching us is Paul Finn with his 1947 Ford fire truck. A Ford truck, sorry. It's Reds, but it's not fire truck. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Tremendous. It's a beautiful day. And now we have a really interesting one. I haven't seen this one before.
This is my version of a truck. You put it on the riding lawnmower and you let it go.
Well, and it's a miniature fire truck from Bedford, apparently, according to the seal on it, and a little bit of a ladder truck. And that's great. It is really great to see. And followed by the Bedford Historical Society float. And we have an airplane, which is following right down the street.
That's great. That's great. Creative. That is creative.
And now we have a wonderful float, Home of the Free, and Because of the Fine Brave, which again is taking us back to our theme of paying respect and appreciation, expressing respect and appreciation for our veterans. And then we have a Cub Scout pack, 114. And now we have a beautiful, beautiful Model A, 1949. It's the first year they made Model A. 1929. 1929. And we have Cub Scout Pack 5. And again, it's great to see so many of our young people. Thank you very much. And now we have the matching marching band. And I believe this is from Milford. It is. And again, my hat's off to them because the costumes, the uniforms are tremendous, but I can only imagine how it is with marching in this kind of heat. So we appreciate their participation, paying tribute to our veterans.
Coming up, we have Bedford Martial Arts Academy from right here in town. I don't think they're very cool either. Their outfits look a little toasty.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Bob. It's, I know how I'm feeling at this point. No, I don't need to be squirted, thank you. For those of you who can't see what's going on, my co-host here, one of my co-hosts, has got a squirt gun that she is using quite liberally as the parade goes on. Okay, and approaching us, we now have got the Bedford Girls Softball League. And they have apparently their own honor guard. The flags look tremendous. and it's great to see them.
You missed their mascot. They had a dog, but he's running a little bit ahead, and even the dog had a uniform on.
Did he really? Okay. That's, so even the canines are getting involved in our pre-Memorial Day parade. Also approaching us here is the truck from Hannaford Brothers Supermarkets. It's great to see them participating. Of course, they have 2 stores here in Bedford, and again, we welcome them. And now, we have the Bedford Highway Department approaching. And, you know, it's strange when you think of it, but they provide so much service to us in the community, from taking care of our roads to plowing. They do a great deal to keep us safe. So, you know, our hats are off to them, and they're here, again, celebrating the role that our veterans have played in our country and in our community here in Bedford. Now, being closely followed is the Bedford Fire Department. And we saw earlier the Sanford, which was Bedford's second fire truck. But, you know, now we've gotten a little bit more current. And these are a little bit more contemporary for us. But you have Engine 1, which is our usual first responder. And that's a tremendous piece of apparatus. It served the town well since it was purchased.
I think we have a very youthful driver here. I think he's in training.
Well, that could well be the case. And that's great. It's really great to see the kids involved. I can remember when I was a kid, one of the greatest thrills you could have as a little one was to ride on the fire trucks. I think that's one reason when we get older, we bought them. The size of the toys was just different. And Engine 4, which usually responds in conjunction with ambulance calls and rescue calls. That's the way it's rigged out. So oftentimes when you have one, you'll have the other in tandem. And here we have our newest ambulance. It's been in service about 2 years now. And again, it's a wonderful piece of apparatus. I know we've made use of it with our family on several occasions. And Ambulance 1 has really been a tremendous asset to our community. And now following up and concluding the parade, and now we're going to head shortly back down to McKelvey, is the closing vehicle from the Bedford Police Department. It's only appropriate that they open the parade and they close the parade because they are there for all of us to guard us and keep us safe. So we really appreciate their efforts. Tremendous. How you doing? So let's close, guys, and we are going to be taking the Model T and heading back down to McKelvey. We'll be back with you shortly.